Welcome to Classroom Idaho. Learn at Home, Fall 2020, a partnership of the Idaho State Board of Education, the Boise School District, and Idaho Public Television.
Hi there. Miss Sasha, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Miss Devon?
I'm wonderful. I was just outside taking a walk. I love being outside. How about you?
I love being outside too. I actually walk to work every day, and it's so nice to get that time to walk.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, what other things do you like to do outside?
I love being outside. I love to go for hikes out in the woods, but I also like to take my dog for a walk. We like to go paddle boarding and camping. What do you like to do?
Ooh, paddle boarding. What is paddle boarding?
It is something that's been around for a couple years now, but it almost looks like a surfboard, and you stand on it in water and you use a paddle to go down the river or around the lake. And It's a big workout, but it's a lot of fun.
Does your dog go on the paddleboard with you?
Only when I force him to. He doesn't like water. He gets really scared, and he does that little cartoon look when the dog doesn't want to go in the water and puts his arms and legs out. So
he says, "Ooh."
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I also love to go hiking, and if I can't go hiking, I like to walk in my neighborhood. I like to go outside and read a book under a tree or maybe in a hammock. I love to swim, and I love the sun, feeling the sun outside. It's wonderful.
I bet that hammock helps you fall asleep and take a nap during the day, huh?
Yeah. And I also love to look at beautiful flowers and different kinds of plants. So I'm excited for the story that we have because it has to do with plants. Miss Sasha, should we introduce ourselves before we get started? Hello, everyone. My name is Miss Devon, and I am an English teacher at Boise's English Language Center. And I teach adults who come from all over the world. How about you?
That sounds pretty exciting. I bet you meet a lot of fascinating people, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My name's Miss Sasha. I'm an elementary teacher out in Nampa, and I've been doing that for 6 years. And I love getting to meet the kids at that age and get to teach them and learn with them.
Ooh, maybe some of your students are watching right now.
I hope so. I would love it if they were watching right now.
Wonderful. Well, I'm very excited about our book for this time. Let's show everybody a picture here.
I think we should. Let me go ahead and throw that up there.
All right. So it looks like this is from Storybooks ESL, and it's a free website that has really amazing stories and wonderful illustrations. So thank you very much to Storybooks ESL. Miss Sasha, do you know what the title of our story is?
Yes, it's Khalai Talks to Plants.
Oh, talking to plants? Huh, that's interesting. Why would you talk to a plant?
Well, I've heard that if you talk to plants, it helps them grow.
Really? Oh, okay. Huh. Maybe Khalai is friends with the plants, so she wants to talk to them.
I don't know. It looks a little bit like a fruit tree in the picture, so I wonder if she wants it to grow.
Oh, she wants to maybe grow so she can eat the fruit. Okay. Well, let's see here. What's next, Miss Sasha?
It looks like it was written by Ursula Nafula and illustrated by Jesse Peterson.
Okay. So I think we have some questions for you at home. Okay. So you can ask somebody next to you, a brother or a sister, or if one of your parents is around. And if you're by yourself, you can ask yourself, do you like to go outside? And what do you like to do outside? We're going to give you a few minutes to talk to someone and discuss.
Welcome back, boys and girls. I hope you had some good conversations. Now, Miss Devon is going to talk to us about some vocabulary words that we want you to look out for during the story.
Okay, so we have a few important words that we want you to know before we read our story. The first one is ripe. Let's practice saying it. So everyone repeat after me. Ripe. Ripe.
Ripe.
Okay, great. So ripe is an adjective, meaning it describes something, and it means ready or fully grown, and it's usually used with fruits and vegetables. We can see in this picture, we have, oh, Miss Sasha, what vegetable is that?
They look like yummy, juicy, ripe tomatoes.
Yes, they are. So we can see, we can actually see that this picture has some ripe tomatoes and some unripe tomatoes. So the ones that are ripe are what color? Miss Sasha, do you know what color the ripe tomatoes are?
They are red. That's when I know they're ready to eat.
Yeah. So when the tomatoes are red and ripe and juicy, if we go to our next slide, we can see some examples. So, ripe tomatoes are very juicy. I love to eat them. It says your turn. I feel blank when I eat ripe blank. So let's see. For me, I feel so happy when I eat ripe mangoes. Mangoes are a fruit that are orange inside. And oh, I feel so happy when I eat ripe mangoes. What about you, Miss Sasha?
I feel excited when I eat ripe raspberries.
Yum. Okay. So ripe is a good positive word. When food is ripe, we feel happy. Awesome. Okay. What's next? What other words do we need to learn? Oh, bloom. Miss Sasha, would you like to do this one?
Sure. I'm going to guess that a bloom is a verb. And if you remember what a verb means, it's an action. So it means to make or have flowers. When a flower grows out of the ground and it blooms, it means that it's making or having flowers. And here's our example. Flowers usually bloom in the spring when the weather is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of your favorite times to take your walks around the neighborhood, Miss Devon?
Absolutely, yes. And you know, I'm looking at our picture here, and do you think that that flower is all the way blooming?
I don't think so. I think it still has a little bit more to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's an interesting picture because the top of the flower, it's not blooming yet. So, but the bottom, it's starting to bloom and have the petals. So that's a good example of a flower that's blooming.
I really like this example because I like it when flowers bloom all year long too. I like to see blooming flowers all year.
Yeah, those are really nice. So let's see. For me, when flowers bloom, I breathe in really deeply and smell how wonderful they smell, like roses. How about you?
I love the way flowers smell too, but for me, when flowers bloom, I like to stop and take pictures of them.
Oh, yeah.
I want to plant a garden, and so I love getting new ideas. So I try to take pictures of flowers that I really am interested in.
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you press them and dry them ever?
I did when I was a kid, but I don't now.
Okay. Yeah.
I was never very successful at it.
Mm.
How about you at home? What do you like when flowers bloom? All right, Miss Devon, what's our next word?
Our next word is shade. Shade. So shade is a noun. And here we have this picture. I see lots of trees, and I see some sun, and then I see some dark spots, which is the shade. Shade is an area that is a little dark and it's cooler. So it's not so hot, the temperature. In the shade, something is blocking the sun. So you can see down in the grass, the darker green is the shade.
Do you put your hammock in the shade, Miss Devon, when you have it out?
Yeah, that's a good spot for a hammock, is to be in the shade. So, because if I'm not careful, I will get sunburned. And so it's good to stay in the shade when you're reading. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I get the same way. I love the sun, but I have to make sure I wear my sunscreen.
Yeah. Okay, so our example is when it is hot outside, you should look for shade. And because you can get sunburned or because it's too hot. Let's see. My favorite thing to do in the shade of a tree is lie in the grass and take a nap. I really love just being very comfortable, listening, like it's peaceful and it's a good temperature. You're not too hot and you just fall asleep.
My favorite thing to do in the shade of a tree is to read or watch nature, depending on where I am.
Mm-hmm. What kinds of nature do you see?
When I love to go camping, and in the shade, I'll sit and I'll just watch the little chipmunks come out, chase each other, or try to get my food, which is always funny. But sometimes you get little lizards, or if you're around people, I love to watch other dogs come into my campground because I love dogs. So, and they're always really friendly, or little squirrels as they run around.
Yeah, I like to go to the parks in Boise and I'll watch the squirrels. They're very interesting. There's so many squirrels. They're very busy right now because they're preparing for winter. So, yeah, it's nice to just sit in the shade of a tree and just watch what's going on. All right. Do we have another word?
We do. We have 2 more words.
Okay. This word is hedge. Hedge. It's a noun, so it's a thing. And Miss Sasha, would you like to tell us about it?
Sure. First, it looks like in the picture, it almost kind of looks rectangular. And it looks pretty dense, pretty thick. So I wonder if I'm pretty close to the definition just looking at that. So a hedge are shrubs or small trees in a row, and it makes a fence or a wall, which kind of looks like the picture over there. Have you seen any? Have you seen any on your walks?
I have, yeah. Some of my neighbors, they, instead of having a fence made out of wood, they decide that they want to have a hedge. So they grow this plant. And so it shows where their yard is, but you can still see through it. It looks pretty and green.
It does look really pretty. Only if it had flowers would it probably be prettier.
That's true. I think I've seen some hedges that have flowers growing in them, but usually they're just green.
I might have to try to go find those hedges.
Yeah. So, my neighbor doesn't have a fence in his yard. He has hedges instead. Do your neighbors have hedges, Miss Sasha?
You know, some do, but most of my neighbors don't. Most of my neighbors don't actually have any fences in their front yards.
Oh, okay.
We hardly have sidewalks over in my neighborhood.
Oh, no sidewalks. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
So let's see. Let's try and use this in a sentence. I'm going to say, I think hedges are useful because they are like a fence, but they're prettier.
I like that.
Green.
I think hedges I do think they're pretty, but because I like how square they are and how they have just straight lines on them.
Yeah.
I like the looks of hedges when they're straight and.
Sometimes I've been places and people will cut the hedges into different shapes.
Ooh.
And, yeah. So, and like almost like a statue sometimes. So I think that's very interesting.
I bet they're really talented if they can do that.
Yeah. I think it takes a lot of time to get it to grow. in the shape that you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we have one more word before we can read our story.
Yes, we do. And you want to go ahead and take this one, Miss Devon?
Okay. This word is sigh. Sigh. Sigh is a verb. And I look at this picture of this boy, and he is saying, how do you think he's feeling, Miss Sasha?
He looks like maybe he could be a little sad, maybe a little bored.
Yeah. Okay. So sighing, yeah, and you're right. Sighing can mean you're bored. Sighing can mean you're disappointed, you're a little sad. It can also mean you're happy. We sigh for many different reasons, but a sigh is so taking in and letting out a loud breath so someone can hear you. So, when do you sigh? Let's see some examples.
I sometimes sigh when I want somebody to know I'm a little frustrated. And I just, or I'm gearing up for a big thing that I know I'm not going to enjoy, but I need to do it. So, and then I get to work.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. This says, when Mom saw how messy my room was, she gave a big sigh. She said, ugh. So that sounds like what you mentioned, Miss Sasha, where Mom wanted me to know that she's a little disappointed and a little frustrated. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom might have done this quite a bit for me growing up too.
Yeah. Well, what makes me sigh? Now we've talked about how you can sigh if you're sad or frustrated. You can also sigh if you're tired, but you can also be happy and sigh. So, like, when I am outside and the sun is shining, so I'm very warm and happy, I'll smile, and the sun makes me sigh. So it can be a good sigh too.
My happy sigh is when I have a nice hot cup of cocoa with marshmallows, and that first sip just makes me sigh afterwards because it feels so warm.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I do the same with my first cup of coffee in the morning.
Yep, I smell it and I just want to sigh with happiness.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have a good word here with sigh. You can use it in many different ways.
All right, do you think we're ready to read our story, Miss Devon?
I think we are. Let's do it.
All right, and if you'd like to read along with us at home, you can scan the QR code or you can type in the URL address at the bottom. We'll give you a minute or two to see, and you can read along with us.
And if you don't have a QR code and you can't put the URL in, no problem. You can also read the story with us on the screen.
All right. Would you like to read first, Miss Devon?
Sure. Okay. So we talked about the title of our story is Khalai Talks to Plants, written by Ursula Nafula, illustrated by Jesse Peterson. So I'm going to read the story, and if you can, take your finger and follow the words as I'm reading them. And especially, see if you can notice any of our vocabulary words that we've talked about. Okay. Are we ready, Miss Sasha?
We are.
Great. This is Khalai. She is 7 years old. Her name means the good one in her language, Luvukusu. Khalai wakes up and talks to the orange tree. Please, orange tree, grow big and give us lots of ripe oranges. Khalai walks to school. On the way, she talks to the grass. Please, grass, grow greener and don't dry up. Khalai passes wildflowers. Please, flowers, keep blooming so I can put you in my hair. At school, Khalai talks to the tree in the middle of the compound. Please, tree, put out big branches so we can read under your shade. Khalai talks to the hedge around her school. Please grow strong and stop bad people from coming in. When Khalai returns home from school, she visits the orange tree. Are your oranges ripe yet? Asks Khalai. The oranges are still green, sighs Khalai. I will see you tomorrow, orange tree, says Khalai. Perhaps then you will have a ripe orange for me. Oh, the end.
The end. Sorry, it kind of on me too.
It was a good story. Yeah. You don't, when it's a good story, you want it to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So can you find our vocabulary in the story? Which of our words did you notice? We have ripe, bloom, shade, hedge, sigh.
All right. Should we go on to the next one and see if we can find one of them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe you noticed we have ripe. So let me read the page, and when you hear me say ripe, I want you to say, ooh, I hear it. You can wave your arms. Okay. Khalai wakes up and talks to the orange tree. Please, orange tree, grow big, and give us lots of ripe oranges. Okay, so there's our first word, a ripe orange. But I can tell from the picture, are those oranges ripe? Not yet, they're green. What a ripe orange should be orange, right? That's why we call it an orange. Okay. Did you notice any other vocabulary words?
Not on this page. Have you seen any?
I don't think on this page either. But I think that Khalai uses ripe again.
I think I remember hearing it in the story too, Miss Devon.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go to the next one and see if that's where she used it?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see the next one. Okay. So then this says, when Khalai returns home from school, she visits the orange tree. Are your oranges ripe yet? asks Khalai. There it is again.
Yeah.
Are they ripe yet, Miss Sasha?
They still don't look ripe yet.
Nope, not yet. Okay. And she uses it one more time.
Do you think it's on the next page that she used it?
I think so.
All right, let's go see.
The oranges are still green, sighs Khalai. I will see you tomorrow, orange tree, says Khalai. Perhaps then you will have a ripe orange for me. Okay. So she really wants a ripe orange because you can't eat an unripe orange. Or if you do, it would probably be very sour. So she really wants a ripe orange because if you eat the orange green, Miss Sasha, have you ever tried to eat a green, unripened orange?
I haven't. I'd imagine it's probably pretty sour.
Yeah, it's not sweet. It's very sour. So I think that's why she keeps telling the orange tree, please get ripe.
Yeah, it would be hard to be this patient to watch an orange ripen.
That's true. She is being very patient. She's waiting and waiting. Okay. What about any other vocabulary words? We've found ripe 3 times. What else?
I remember something about flowers and, bloom. I remember bloom.
Okay. Blooming or bloom.
I think I remember it in the story. I wonder if it's on the next page.
Okay. Here we go. So, Miss Sasha, do you want to do this one?
Sure. And when we come up on the word bloom or blooming, why don't you give me a clap this time?
Okay.
All right. Khalai passes wildflowers. Please, flowers, keep blooming so I can put you in my hair.
I like to put flowers in my hair. Sometimes I put them together and make a little headband or like a crown. Do you ever do that?
No, because I used to run around a lot as a kid, and so they'd always fall out. And now I wear my hair so short that they still fall out. Flowers never stayed in my hair.
Okay.
Whether I wanted them or not. I don't remember hearing blooming anymore. Did you hear it in the story?
I don't think so. No, I'm wondering, our vocabulary word was bloom, but this is blooming. So is that the same thing?
I think it is. It just helps us know that it's currently doing it. When we have ing on the end of a word, it means that it's happening right now. And you can kind of see that in the picture with the flowers. You can see that they've opened up to greet the sun.
Okay. So our word, we have our verb bloom, but in the story it could be blooming, it could be bloomed, it could be blooms, and it all means the same thing.
Thank you, Miss Devon. I love that you pointed that out for us.
What's next? Okay, so for this vocabulary word, which is shade, how about when you hear it, you shrug your shoulders up and down? Okay. At school, Khalai talks to the tree in the middle of the compound. Please, tree, put out big branches so we can read under your shade. Did you hear it? Okay. So let's see. It looks like there's a boy reading in the shade, and he has maybe an apple or maybe an orange. I can't tell.
It's supposed, I can make it a little bit bigger and show you guys. It's supposed to be an apple.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. So he has an apple and he's reading his book in the shade. But there's another girl and she is not in the shade because the tree is too small. So Khalai wants the tree to get bigger so there can be more shade for her friends. That seems nice.
That is a very nice thing. All right. Do you want me to do this one, Miss Devon?
Sure.
All right. This time, when you hear the vocabulary word, pat your head. Okay. All right, ready? Khalai talks to the hedge around her school. Please grow strong and stop bad people from coming in. Ooh, this looks bigger than the hedge we saw in the first picture.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know they could get so big.
Yeah, it really looks like a fence. It even has a gate in the middle of it, just like a fence.
Do you think it took a while for the hedge to grow that tall, Miss Devon?
Yes, I think people had a lot of patience and they waited year after year after year for the hedge to grow little by little.
I think so. That's one thing I've noticed about growing things is you have to have patience with them. All right. Oh, this one looks really like we've got a couple on this one, Miss Devon.
Yeah. Okay. So we have an old vocabulary word. So when you hear ripe, we are waving our hands. And for our new one, you can do the action. You can sigh. Okay, here we go. The oranges are still green, sighs Khalai. I will see you tomorrow, orange tree, says Khalai. Perhaps then you will have a ripe orange for me. Okay, good job. So,
Fun.
why do you think, why was Khalai sighing?
I think she might have been sighing because she was sad.
Oh.
Why do you think she was sighing, Miss Devon?
Maybe she is tired of waiting for the orange because it's the end of the day and she's impatient. She might say like, oh, I really want it to be, I want to eat it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
But I don't know, she's still smiling. So she seems like she will wait and then eventually it will get orange and ripe.
Yep, I think so too.
So, Miss Sasha, what's next?
We have an exciting activity next. So, what we're going to do is have a fun little activity with you guys. We're going to give you about 10 minutes to do it, and we're going to show you what it is and talk about it with you. Miss Devon, we get to do a scavenger hunt. I'm so excited. Have you ever done one?
No, what's a scavenger hunt?
Oh, I love these. A scavenger hunt is when you have a list of items that you're asked to go find. So, for example, our first one is to go find a tree. And you can draw a picture of it, you can take a picture of it, or you can just take a mental picture and be like, and go tell somebody you found a tree.
Okay. So, do I have to go outside to find the tree?
You don't have to. You can look outside your window to see, and that might even be more of a challenge of, can you find a tree outside your window?
Okay.
Our next one is going to be a fruit tree. Can you find a fruit tree? I know we have lots of apple trees around our neighborhoods in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a pear or a plum tree too.
Ooh.
Then our third item is find something ripe. Now this could be just in your house. You can go find something ripe in the fridge, huh?
Okay.
And find something growing. All right, our next one is find something green in the ground.
Okay.
Can't wait to see what you come up with or what we come up with. Find something blooming.
Okay.
This one might be a little bit hard with the way the air is right now, but find some shade.
Okay.
And then our last one is find a hedge.
So what if I can't find everything?
That's okay. Do your best. Try to find what you can. And if we have time, maybe you can draw us a picture of it.
Okay. So with a scavenger hunt, it's just for fun, and you're just trying to see how many things are around you, either out your window or if you can go outside a little ways safely. But you sometimes the thing you're looking for just doesn't exist where you are. That's okay. So I like your idea. If you can't find it, you could draw a picture. I think I understand how to do a scavenger hunt. So I'm going to try and find some paper and something to write with, or I can have my phone to take a picture. And I'm gonna get up and leave for around 10 minutes.
Awesome. I'm going to get up and go look too, and I will see you back in just a few.
Okay, happy hunting.
You too. Welcome back, Miss Devon. Did you find a lot of items?
Oh, I did. I had a really fun time. I went outside in my neighborhood. What did you find, Miss Sasha?
My first thing I found was a tree. I love this tree. It's across the street from me and it's really big.
Yeah, that is a big tree. I bet there's lots of good shade underneath it.
There is. What did you find, Miss Devon?
Well, I found this tree, which is a fruit tree. It's a block away from my house. And I think that they're small apples called crab apples. And crab apples they're only like maybe this big when they're ripe, and they're very sour. So I think it's a crab apple fruit tree.
They look a lot like crab apples.
Mm-hmm. What else did you find, Miss Sasha?
I found this in my house. I have from my friend's garden, even her fruit tree. She gave me a ripe apple, and I'm excited to eat it.
That looks delicious. Well, I found in my yard, in the sidewalk, this is something growing. So it's grass that is growing out of the sidewalk crack. So I thought that was pretty cool because it might not be a place you expect something green to be growing, but it's doing it. It's growing.
It is really unexpected. I love it. I love that you got that picture. I found this on the side of my driveway, and I'm really excited because it was blooming a couple months ago, but it still looks really pretty, and it's a nice little plant.
What is it? What kind of plant?
I don't know, because when I just moved in a couple months ago to my house, and I wasn't able to figure out what plant it was before it stopped blooming. So,
okay. It's a flower, though.
It is a flowering plant, yes.
Okay. Let's see. I found, so this flower is blooming. This is my neighbor's rose. He has a lot of rose bushes that are planted in his garden. So this is one of the roses that are blooming, and I stopped and smelled it, and it smelled very nice.
I love the color of this rose. It's beautiful.
Yeah, a nice pink color.
I tried to find some shade in my driveway. It's kind of hard to see with the sun being blocked as much as it is. Mm-hmm. I have this bush over here growing, and it gives shade right there.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe shade for some small animals or some small bugs.
Yeah, the squirrels love to hide out there, and they tease my dog through the window. Were you able to find a hedge, Miss Devon?
I did, yes. So this hedge, it's a few blocks away from my house. So I had to really hurry. And it looks like a very nice hedge that they're keeping it very, very straight. But it's not very big. So it's not, it's not really keeping anybody safe yet, like Khalai's hedge in the story. But it looks nice.
It looks very decorative. I like it. All right. Are we ready to reread the story, Miss Devon?
Yeah. And before we do, actually, if you haven't already shared with someone with you, then you should share what you found. And if you are watching on the YouTube channel, it would be so wonderful if you sent us some of the things that you found on your scavenger hunt. We would really be interested to see them.
Thank you, Miss Devon, for reminding me. I forgot about that part. We would love to see what you guys found on your scavenger hunt. All right, we are going to reread the story, and we're going to think about what order the story is. So try to keep in your head when we're reading it what happens to Khalai as she goes through the story, okay? Again, if you'd like to reread with us, we'll leave this up for a moment. Khalai talks to plants. This is Khalai. She is 7 years old. Her name means the good one in her language. Miss Devon, can you help me out with this one? I tried and couldn't get it quite right.
I think it's Lubukusu. Lubukusu. Yeah, Lubukusu.
Thank you. Khalai wakes up and talks to the orange tree. Please, orange tree, grow big and give us lots of ripe oranges. Khalai walks to school. On the way, she talks to the grass. Please, grass, grow greener and don't dry up. Khalai passes wildflowers. Please, flowers, keep blooming so I can put you in my hair. At school, Khalai walks to the tree in the middle of the compound. Please, tree, put out big branches so we can read under your shade. Khalai talks to the hedge around her school. Please grow strong and stop bad people from coming in. When Khalai returns home from school, she visits the orange tree. Are your oranges ripe yet? She asks Khalai. The oranges are still green, sighs Khalai. I will see you tomorrow, orange tree, says Khalai. Perhaps then you will have a ripe orange for me. So I have a question for you, Miss Devon.
Mm-hmm.
If you could grow anything in your garden, what would you grow?
Anything?
Anything.
Man, I could grow so many things. I mean, I could grow vegetables, but I really love fruit. And one of my favorite fruits is pineapple. So if I could grow anything in my garden, I would plant a pineapple plant.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And I think I have some pictures here.
You do? Would you like to see them?
Yeah, let's show everybody. So we have my sentences. I would grow a pineapple plant. So I love pineapple. It's really yummy. It's good to eat. But also, watching a pineapple grow is so cool because it doesn't look like any other plant. So that's why I would grow a pineapple plant. What about you, Miss Sasha? If you could grow anything in your garden, what would it be?
I love citrus fruit. And I love limes. I love lemons. I love key limes. So if I could grow anything in my garden, I would grow a citrus tree. It was too hard to pick which one I'd grow, but I did draw a lemon one because I do love lemons.
I like fresh lemons a lot. Did you make lemonade? Would you make lemonade out of your lemons in your tree?
I would. I love lemonade. I actually like sour things. So I would drink lemonade a lot.
Awesome. Well, we want to leave you today with the question, if you could grow anything in your garden, what would it be? And I hope that you talk to someone with you, and you can draw a picture of it. And who knows, maybe, do you have a garden already? What's in your garden that you like? Can you eat anything in your garden? Do you smell the flowers? So I think that now, because we read our book about Khalai, I guess we should talk to the plants that we have. Will you tell your friends, like, oh, you should talk to the plants in your garden?
I'm gonna have to, because it looked like it helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Well, I think this is all the time that we have. Thank you very much, Miss Sasha, for reading the story with me. And thank you all at home for watching and for reading and for learning new vocabulary and for doing a scavenger hunt with us and for doing a story map.
Yes, thank you, Miss Devon. I enjoyed the time we got to spend together learning about this story. Thank you.
Okay, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Funding for Classroom Idaho has been provided by the Friends of Idaho Public Television, the Idaho Public Television Endowment, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. To request a YouTube link of this episode, please visit idahoptv.org/classroomidaho or call 1-800-543-6868.
You're watching Idaho Public Television's Create channel.